Hi, folks. Welcome to your year-end review. Why your year-end and not mine in a minute, but first let me welcome you to my off-grid homestead in New Brunswick, Canada on this insanely mild day at the end of December. I don't know if you can see, but there's snow melting here. Unheard of for this time of year. Today's high is forecasted to be +8. That would be in a couple of hours from now, and I think it's about not yet 1 p.m. And when it could be -25 Celsius. Anyway, this is a time of year traditionally, historically, whatever, when people try to reassess their lives, thinking, reflecting back on the year that it was. What did they accomplish? What didn't they accomplish? What kind of year it was? Good year, bad year, prosperous year, how much money, relationships, you know. And for me, the reason why I say it's your year-end review and not mine, the reason is that I don't celebrate I have nothing to do with any religious sort of hallmarks and dates and days and annual, biannual, whatever. I, like my ancestors, my tribe from 10,000 years ago, celebrate, or yeah, I guess you can say celebrate. I've mentioned this before. The spring equinox, the first day of spring, marking it as the rejuvenation, the renewal, the new beginnings. And I don't also like to count years, celebrating years. So those folks back then celebrated the first day of the spring and they called it the new day, which is the name of my own website. And that's where I got it from. And it almost is a little bit, or it could be a little bit depressing thinking if you do a year end, it's as if, for me, if I were to do it, it's one of the reasons why I don't do it, is that you could say things like, well, I had an unproductive year. I didn't get to accomplish, another year went by without me having accomplished what I wanted to. Another year of failure, another whatever. Whereas for me, every day, every morning is a new day, a new beginning. If I'm allowed to, if I'm able to, if I can, I hope to make it a better day than yesterday. So if I'm not able to, if I was not allowed to, or whatever, to accomplish what I wanted to in that particular day, it's not like saying a whole year was wasted. And from a perspective of someone who is productive and efficient like me, to say another year of unproductive or unrealized dreams or visions or projects is almost a catastrophe, and then multiply that by a number of days. Whereas if I don't get to accomplish something in one day, then there's another day, the next day, and the next day. You know what I mean? Days are shorter than a whole year of being wasted. Anyway, so today is your day. Today is your day if you do these annual things. You set goals. You make plans for a whole year. Some people do 5-year plans. Some people do 10-year plans, vision boards, and all those things. I don't do any of that stuff. Not anymore. Not after having not realized any of them for decades. What's the point? Yeah. No, but so today is your day, and I want to. You already know this, but this is sort of like, you know how when you go to, it's raining now, it's drizzle. You know what? Let's go inside. Let's go inside because I only have this one camera and I don't want to damage it. Um, and then I won't be able to show you what's going on here at all, ever. There's trouble with this one. So you've been to my gathering place, and here we go again. And if you haven't, welcome, and look for a video on it. And where can I put it so you can see me? All right, is that? Oh yeah, I'll just go stand over there. Oh, is the lens wet? I don't know. I can't see. I can't see. You can hear the rain. We have a metal roof. Maybe I'll sit here. I hope I'm in the frame. Anyway, you see, you come here for unrehearsed, unedited, unscripted. That's what I'm here for. And I'm now hoping that I'm in the frame for when I go back and I haven't wasted this whole segment. But anyway, today is about you, as I was mentioning before. And today, if you celebrate or if you plan to, hope to review your year end. When you go to, for those of you who have gone to a psychologist or a therapist or a analyst or whatever, this is what they do. They sit there and kind of tell you what you already kind of know. Not how can I, not to offend or belittle or whatever. But I'm just saying we all know intuitively. Well, whatever it is that we go to seek help for. It's just these people are more trained, or because they've done it so many times repetitively, they can see the pattern, they can see where you, at what time you put up these walls, and now you no longer can see the truth. I've never gone to one, but so you don't think that I'm judging you, so that we can no longer see the truth in front of our own eyes. So I'm actually happy for anyone at this time of year that is doing this sort of a review, because as opposed to, like, say, like me that does it daily, it's because oftentimes we get stuck in this sort of a rut and either accept what the society tells us or the status quo, or just because we're scared of something new or a change. It's hard for me to relate because that's not me at all, because I love change, I love new, routine is one thing, but I love change, and that I don't want to be I can't imagine, I know people actually that have done the same kind of job at the same place for 30 plus years, and I don't understand that, because I couldn't do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I don't want to. But some people find, maybe partially because they're scared to, partially because there's like some kind of a comfort in doing the same repetitive thing over and over again. Again, I can't relate to, but I've seen this so many times that I can comment on it now. So this, at the end of this in a couple of days is a new calendar year. That was snow that fell off the roof. Did you hear it? A new calendar year for some of you who celebrate. I don't know if it's a Christian calendar or whatever. And so my hope, not I can't advise you or tell you what to do, but my hope for you is that you take next year, this coming year that you celebrate, and make changes, significant changes in your life. You know, that those memes that are on internet, like, if not now, then when, kind of things. If you don't want to live for today, and all those things. If you are in a bad relationship, if you don't like your job, if you don't like your friends, you don't have to be stuck to any of these things. You don't have to be. Somebody said, if you don't like where you live, move. You're not a tree. And we live in the forest. I don't know if you can see, the windows are fogged up or wet. But sometimes people stay with the same friends as when they were in high school or in college, university, grad school, whatever, and they're not necessarily good. People change. There's nothing wrong with that. They've gone their way, and it's time that we should go our way. Our values change. Some people love to go climb that corporate ladder. That's fine. Some people want a super simple life. That's fine. But my point is, if you yourself have changed your values and goals, you don't need to be stuck with these friends and still carry on as if you were when you were in your teens or as young adults. If you now want to, I know, actually, this is a good example. I know people that have gone sort of like back, they were back to landers, or they went back to land, and they found it super difficult to handle, and really is not an easy thing to do. But good for them for trying it. And then they realized, no, I don't want to, no, that's not for me, I can't do it anymore. And then they went back. Nothing wrong with that. And then the opposite is also true. I've also seen people, there's someone coming, shortly moving to the neighborhood. Actually, I can't even give more details on that, just in case they do watch this video. There's someone, there are people who've done the same job, profession for decades, and then they realize that, my God, what was this about? Chasing after money or title or status or whatever, and I don't want that anymore. Maybe I wanted it then, I don't want it anymore. And now they're changing their perspective, and they're going after something new. Nothing wrong with that. Problem sometimes arises when your spouses or your friends at the time might think you're out of your mind for making this pivot, or not just making the pivot, but making any pivot, making any changes to your life. Why don't you stay with us and be with us how we are? We're happy, not thinking that we're all at different stages of our lives. So just because they're happy doesn't mean that you're going to be happy. And they're not going to understand you. They're just not going to understand you. And you're not going to, after time, you're not going to understand them. I remember, as a tiny example, I remember my dad smoked, as my grandfather smoked as well, but not his dad, my mom's dad. And he was actually almost like a chain smoker. And they both quit when I was maybe 6 or so. And it was very difficult. I remember them saying it was very difficult for them to be around smokers, or they could smell smoke within smelling distance, and they would feel like throwing up. And I thought, what are you talking about? You smoked for years. I mean, I was little, but I was still old enough to be able to have these thoughts and say, what are they talking about? They smoked for years. How can I never smoked. and I don't feel like throwing up. It's a horrible, horrible habit and an addiction, and I keep my distance. I mean, I had my fill of it from my 60 years of being a glorified waiter, and that's before you couldn't smoke indoors. So I had my fill of banquet halls full of smoke, and so I keep my distance. I'm not judging smokers for their personality, but the thing itself is chock full of toxins. So my point is that if they were to go to those people that were smoking within smoking distance and say, look, I used to smoke like you and I quit, and like they would probably be all offended, thinking, oh, whether you're an idiot or whatever, and not see their point. Just as when you want to make a shift, a transition, change of lifestyle in your life, your friends and family might not understand. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, whatever. Sometimes it's time for new beginnings. As I call it, Finnegan begin again. Start anew, start afresh, look for new friends, look for new possibilities, look for new. Um, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see after a while, perhaps you'll be able to see new opportunities in direction. Whoever or whatever is nudging you towards it's there. You'll see it more clearly as you get away from your old habits and old lifestyles that you want to change. I can't say if they're good or bad. I'm just saying that once you start to look beyond what you're going through right now, or what you're used to right now, you'll be able to see different options, different opportunities. And from then on, if you could trust your instincts and your gut more, that would be even better. Because for years, when I lived in the decades, when I lived in the city, everything was a packaged thing, off the shelf opinions, off the shelf ideas, off the shelf ready-made food, ready. You know what I mean? Someone else's thoughts. Yes, part of it is thought control. It's true, but I mean, when you're in the city, when I was in the city, it's harder. It was harder to not be able to think past all these things, all this noise and demands and impositions. Here, I don't really have that because I don't have, there's nothing else, it's just me and the trees, basically, and the wildlife. So it's easier to think for me. For me, I'm not saying you all should move out here. Don't, you can't all move here. Please don't, because that could be a mistake too. That's all I wanted to say. If you whatever side you're on, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I would like to know. I would like to hear from you what you think, how you think it should be, and if you agree or disagree, and be kind though. These are people that are not in a good place, or someone who may be in a better place now, like me, that's made that leap and change, and it's here. It's someone's life you're talking about, a decision that they've made to live like. If sometimes we don't know because someone else has made the decision for us, and then you just wake up, and these people have these awakenings and things. I'm not one of them either. I'm just saying. And then all of a sudden you think, oh, what the hell was I, yeah. So you can't, I mean, it's easier to judge, but then you may find yourself in that position one day. So be nice if you're making a comment to anyone else or me. I mean, I don't want to have to delete any comments if I don't have to, just as I don't run ads on this channel. I'm trying to keep it as honest and sincere as I can. Anyway, good luck, really. Good luck with your new year. And I hope that you I guess you can say that I'm projecting, because that's all I know. You know how people say, I know how you feel, I know what you mean, whatever, when they don't. I'm not going to pretend that I know what you're going through or any of that stuff if I haven't. So I'll just project, and I'll say it as if this was what means a lot to me. If there was a year to start new for me, I hope for you to have a productive year, accomplish whatever it is you want, prosperous year. I would like that. Money, because I'm not against money. I'm anti-poverty. I'm not anti-money. Money is what we need today to do things. A lot of things that I can't do right now. All my projects that are shelved is because I don't have the money to do it. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm off the grid. Everyone should be off the grid. Money is evil. No, I'm not. Maybe I'll do a video on that, so you can see what I call a realistic off-grid homesteader, not just I'm not a activist, but not an anarchist. And even I remember once I read a definition of an anarchist, sort of a dictionary definition. It's not what you think, what you see on TV, people breaking windows and damaging people's property. That's not a real true definition of an anarchist either. But anyway, back to what I wish for you this year. I wish that you can you welcome new opportunities, new phases in your life, new chapters, instead of fighting it. And life is not short. Life has not been short for me. But after a certain age, you all of a sudden say, what have I done? What have I not done? How much time do I have to do something? And I don't want that for you. So if you are able to, if you have the means to, if you're allowed to make changes, do it. Change is good. Worst possible case, you'll learn from it, and it'll be life experience, and you met some new people, you've done some new things, you've gained some new skills. But not going after it and not doing anything, and then turning around at 60 or 70 or whatever and say, what was that all about? It was a wasted life. That's an entire life. It's one thing to have an unproductive year or 2 or 5 or 10, but to not have accomplished anything in an entire lifetime, boy, that's not good. Anyway, I thank you for being here, and I'll leave you alone. I think I've said enough. Namaste.